BetBoom. Already got a little bit of spice going on between the two.
Yeah, if there's one thing you can be sure is going to happen in this series, it's action. And a lot of it might come out in the first 15 minutes. That's how both of these two teams tend to really, I want to say, largely win their games. Two of the stronger laning teams of the tournament. I would say two of the better drafting teams of the tournament as well. We've seen BetBoom really improve in terms of flex picks, and yeah, this should be a great fight. I don't really have a clear favorite for this game in particular based on drafts and based on power levels. If you think back just, I don't know, say a month, Falcons should on paper clearly be favored in this.
Yeah.
But everything we've seen in this tournament so far, I think Falcons themselves have said in an interview that they don't feel like they're playing their absolute best, but I also just think it's harder to look as good as you usually do when the other teams level up.
And it does feel like a lot of teams have leveled up through the grind of two different group stages. I mean, we've seen, I think Team Spirit is probably my vote for the team most improved. Our Vision came into this tournament, surprised me at how well they've been kicking ass. And BetBoom, I feel like they've been another team that has just gotten better over time.
100% agreed. I think this is going to be a good test, I think, to see where we stand. Because it is definitely, based on what we've seen in the tournament and in this second group stage, there's a good chance that these two teams could eventually make it into the playoffs anyway.
Yeah.
Even whichever team loses and is 3-2, there's a good chance that that team could at least get into a tiebreaker situation for 4th place. If not, still get 3rd with a potential 5-2 scoreline. So this is one of those series that's great to win, so you get that better placement.
It helps there's a gap just between the top 4 and the bottom 4, right? We have teams that are 1-3 and teams that are 3-1 and nobody in between. And it just perfectly lies out at that breaking point of top 4, bottom 4. So whoever loses this game, they would have to like lose the rest of their series to end up in some sort of tiebreaker scenario. But entirely possible if you get broken enough by a bad loss, which that happens sometimes, right?
And I guess there is potentially, you could make the case that Team Liquid are maybe heating up now at the very last moment.
Yep.
Based on their series yesterday, which was a 2-0, I believe, if I we cast that, and they were very convincing.
Very.
Not that we don't expect greatness from them, but you're always going to compare it to recency rather than best performance of all time, which was probably their TI run.
Yeah.
Because you can't be at peak performance all the time, but truly great teams can recover from slumps and clutch when it matters the most, and that's what Liquid started doing yesterday.
Who do you think is at their peak performance right now?
That's actually a very good question. In this tournament right now, I would say the team that I would give the edge to as overall favorites is probably Vision on total performance, but it's hard to say for each individual player that they're peaking. I think no one had a claim to being the best mid player in the world a couple of times in his career.
Yep.
In this tournament, he is one of the best. I don't know if I would just hands down say he's playing the best out of all of them, but their teamwork and their drafting at least has been very solid. Nice pressure here onto Pure, the blood grenade.
Yeah, he's got to be dead, right? Ice Shard blocks him out, but the Quills will still come through and get the first blood. This is a rough lane. Hoodwink, Bristleback, not fun.
I think that the panel was uncertain how this was going to go. I think Mira said something to the effect of, when you think Amar should lose the lane, he just wins it anyway. So the wording of that kind of sounded like they were favoring the TA Tusk. Not even remotely close right now, as Amar gets the first blood, and he's more than doubling up Pure on that CS. This lane has potential to get worse and worse with Bristle getting levels, and you don't like skilling Refraction on TA early on in lane as carry. Nice meld.
Missile dodge
out
there.
of lane again now. Can't CS now. Ugh.
Radiant structure.
And they're gonna cliff this one.
Nice
Creep
cliff. They're
play
gonna
from
go
Amar.
for it. The acorn shot bouncing around Pure. He's making a run for it unless the Refraction is coming up. He is dead, and they're going to chase after Kataomi as well. Falcons are running away with it now in their offlane.
This lane is actually just flat out over.
Yeah.
I don't... It's very rare for me to see Pure get schooled this hard. And it's a problem because this team relies a lot on Pure's performances in their games. Not to say that others aren't carrying their weight, but it's how they structure their drafts a lot of the time that Pure gets a priority pick and they really try to set him up for a nice late game. TA, with this bad of a laning stage, it's just a bad hero. There's no sugarcoating it. If you don't have farm, your hero is kind of useless. So they have to find a way to solve this problem, and they have to find it fast. And I think the guy on your screen right now, Kiyotaka, is the guy who has to do it. Unfortunately, he's out of mana here, sitting in mid, and the Water Rune was already taken top. There is one bottom. But yeah, if he takes that Water Rune, uses his stick and TPs, he has like one spell. So he can't really do anything to help top.
They do have a pretty active offlaner in Primal Beast. Not to say that he can get involved right now, but I was just thinking about what other heroes could be able to help out this lane in some regard a little bit later on. And
it's not, even with a Primal rotation, I don't actually know if you kill the Bristle, though.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a concern here. You probably need the high-level mid-hero to get that job done. Amar level 4. Pure level 2. Amar now has goo as well.
Nice kill on snaking here. Oh,
don't get ahead of yourself.
It doesn't land. Oh no.
Close call. Not quite. Now the other two lanes are going quite fine for BetBoom, I would say. Mid is Invoker favored, and he is winning it by not the largest amount, but he's still ahead. And the bottom lane, Primal Beast against Pugna Luna, not the easiest lane. Playing against double ranged heroes, of which one has a little bit of a mini stun to try to get away from Trample. But despite that, Miro is staying close to the Luna, so
it seems like their play is to try and pull the Hoodwink out of lane. But the problem is that Falcons had full vision of that rotation through the gate. They know Pure is alone, and they're just telling their safe lane, just play passive. We're going to kill this TA again. And, well, that support's going to have to come back through the gate or TP out or something at some point.
I think he has to jungle.
I think so, too.
Level 3 jungling TA is...
Got it.
Not good, Cap.
Radiant
It's just not good. Don't try this at home. Don't try playing against a Mark crit at home. You're gonna lose. Oof. This is the story of the game right here, this lane. Everything else has gone according to expectations, but this lane has...
exceeded them.
Yeah,
sure.
You could argue that perhaps the Falcons lane is a bit better early on, but I wasn't expecting them to find 3 kills on the TA minute 6.
Now you're getting desperate. Katomi is going to try and steal the Wisdom Rune, which he has a chance to do with Snowball. It is very possible. He's definitely going to die for it, though, and he doesn't steal it, and he's still going to die.
See if he manages to die to these creeps.
Trying to draw the aggro. Malrine makes sure to end his life with a swift kick to the face. 4-0.
Radiant's
Falcons,
middle tower
if,
is under attack.
They're certainly setting the pace for this series.
Yeah.
Classic, I mean, do you feel like BetBoom, so BetBoom of old, right, was extremely lane dependent?
Yeah.
Because they would be pretty greedy. They were very good laners. They were very good individually skilled, so they're always very laning focused. Do you feel like this BetBoom is less laning focused?
Wait a second. Let's see if Snaking finds a way out of this. I think he won't.
Calling, and the TP is going to be canceled by Hoodwink as well. So BetBoom does successfully kind of take over this enemy safe lane, which will hopefully create a little bit of space for Pure to do something, but it leaves Crit free to do whatever he wants, and that's a gank on a Kiyotaka in the mid lane, hit by a Lucent Beam. Nice rotation from Skeeter. That was a cool play, and it's going to... Oh, the shot comes out. Dead shot pushing away. Kiyotaka finally dies. The second Lucent Beam comes in. Now they go for the kill on save as well.
So
double
good.
kill for Skeeter. What a rotation by this Luna was... the whole reason they got that Invoker kill in the first place, and he netted himself a double on top of that. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was really, really nice. The thing that makes that so high-skilled is, from Kiyotaka's perspective, this gank of the Hoodwink is... you can expect that to potentially come with how the top lane went, But you're never going to account for the Luna TPing to the tier 1 mid and just rushing at you with a level 3 beam. And when they tried to solve this unexpected problem, they end up losing an additional hero, collateral damage there. So very, very nicely played by the side of Falcons. To answer your BetBoom question in general about lane dependency, I think this team is probably less dependent than the previous one was. But TA is TA. She is a lane-dependent hero, no matter how you spin it. So in this particular game, it might be more similar to old BetBoom. Nice calling here.
Throwing out the blood grenade. Skeeter is dead. BetBoom. They are not just taking it. And maybe losing their safe lane, getting ganked on the mid lane, but they are making plays in their off lane at least. Katomi is trying to soak up whatever experience he can out of the safe lane. Doesn't last for long, though. The Earth Spirit gank comes in. Looks like Kiyotaka got a kill on Snake King in the meanwhile. So both sides are taking over the enemy safe lane and are going to take that tower.
And if it wasn't for the safe lane, BetBoom would be in a pretty comfortable position here, considering the Primal is 800 ahead of Luna, and Invoker is 400 ahead of the Earth Spirit, but the gap between Bristle and TA is 2,000. And there are some big stacks now being prepared for Amar. This is stock standard play from Falcons. Get him off to a good start in the lane, give him Ancient plus Hard Camp stack. He'll go and farm those, and then that will almost complete his Ags.
You know Amar is doing well when he doesn't have to go Arcane Boots. Seen like,
yeah.
He usually does this, but like in harder lanes he does go Arcane Boots, but if he's free farming, he rushes that Axe.
Yeah, does the double null for cheap value.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's the hard camp gone. Now he's probably going to stack the Ancients one more time, potentially.
Roll in, actually he's going to come over mid. Bushwhack does land onto the Invoker. They're going to try and kill him, slow him down with a blood grenade. Now he gets shot, slowed down by the Viscous Nasal Goo. Coming in from behind, though, Miro, he does interrupt things. Small Ring does manage to get one more kickoff before he dies. Oh, and look at this sandwich from Skeeter. He comes in on the other side. They kill the Invoker and the Muerta. Chasing after more now. It's Katomi. Hit by Lucent Beam, slowed down by so many spells. Miro.
Oh,
he's going to pop back out here. Katomi's not dead yet, and Pure, now they want to get a punish. Nice Bushwhack, just beautiful stuff.
Crit is basically landing every spell more or less perfectly. He was a bit unlucky there in the Acorn shot. They could have gotten another kill, but it bounced away like every Chain Frost ever when you're playing Lich.
Radiant are scanning.
You know it's good when you got an Axe before you do the Ancient stack?
I think this is the fastest Axe I've seen on Amar this tournament. He had it minute 10 something, I think, or round 11. Many of his games we've seen at minute 13, so he's very far ahead of par. Trying to get the Decrep off. Snay will get it, but this is very awkward.
Crit's gonna try and get some damage. Might be able to kill the Tusk. It was close.
Almost got the counterplay out of that. Maybe an Alreen could have made it over with a kick. Even had an Arcane Rune. But opted not to pursue that any further.
Yeah, it's fair enough. It's one of the few times in this game that he has full mana. Every single time he gets near this Invoker, he's hit by an EMP, and here comes another one. Cold snapped, there goes his mana. It is annoying for him to interact with this Invoker. He really doesn't want to have to, but he'll be forced to in this situation. Miro gets a hold of him, and they bring him down. But the turnaround is still potential here. Lucent Beam is going to slow down Kiyotaka. Amar's trying to get some goo on him, but it doesn't last. Quick Ghost Walk away, and they disengage. All of this, they're winning these little skirmishes, and Pure has been freed up to farm. He is not that, he's ahead of the Luna by a good amount now.
Yep, just the rest of his team really, like you said, creating the necessary space. One of these net worths is not like the others, but the rest are quite similar. It's just the Bristle that's huge. And as we just saw in that instance, the EMP is kind of a big issue for Amar. So you were talking about him skipping Arcanes. I wonder if there's a case to get them, just to get that burst in the fight to at least guarantee you get something off. He's running a 1100 mana pool roughly, and I guess when he starts working on the Bloodstone, he'll have enough So maybe the arcanes are unnecessary.
Miro's in some trouble here. If he uses the onslaught, okay, nice. He does a little short one, so the Lucent Beam doesn't stop him immediately, but it looks like he's just too slow. Yeah. Even still, Amar will be able to run him down.
Trouble's over.
Kiyotaka, the moment he goes into the enemy jungle, I'm like, we're snaking.
Yeah. Honestly, all things considered, I think this is a pretty good game state for BetBoom now. With how poorly that top lane went, and sure, Amar is still absolutely running the game with this big lead, but the rest of the overall game plan for BetBoom looks quite solid, and like the panel talked about, you do have solutions for Bristle. Even if he's a monster, you can get the Ags and the Primal Beast to break him. TA has a good hero-to-hero matchup later in the game. The lane just didn't really showcase that, but trust me, she'll be all right.
You've got a TA versus Bristleback. Roshan has got to be a contention point between these two lineups, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it'll be interesting because it'll go over nighttime, but then you also have a Luna on the Bristleback.
Ice Wall into the Fear. Very nicely played, but not enough in the tank.
Good little poke, though, that does get some reactions. They TP 2 supports down to this part of the map.
They have some good vision, too. Falcons are walking in complete info for the Dire. If they want to make a move out of this, they could. Snaking was still showing in the vision there with pretty low resources, but they...
Okay, so they
want to get the Luna.
Yeah, if everybody is on that side of the map, they don't have anybody to defend the Luna, who's got to be somewhere in this ancient area or farming up the left-hand side, and they get there just a tad too late.
Wow.
She's now underneath the tier 1 tower, which makes things a lot more awkward. Okay, now they see her. Now it should be easier. Dead shot back into Miro, and yeah. Falcons might still fight this out, though. Skeeter is not dead yet, and a beautiful back to... Whoa! What was that damage? Woo!
Okay, I genuinely thought that play was going to be a good... You said it. Luna's going to get toward the tower and it's going to make things more complicated. They missed the first window by like 3 seconds off on the left. And then diving in here, his kill is just taking a little bit too long. It's Amar. It's that Bristleback. He goes in and presses a button and kills 3 heroes. Together with Malrine with a nice slow to keep them in place.
Classic.
Good damage there too. Yeah, I mean, all right. Don't stack up against this hero. It's generally a good piece of advice.
I mean, it was set up as well by a sick bushwhack. 2,000 damage from the Hoodwink.
Yeah.
That's pretty bonkers.
I mean, all 3 of them basically landed everything perfectly.
Yeah.
So it was a very good response from them, but like we talked about, I actually still really like the move from BetBoom because of what you said. They see these heroes under the wards, they can basically figure out based on that where the Luna has to be. They make the move. They were just a little bit unlucky with the timing being those few seconds too late to kill. If the killer on the left, they probably just hit and run.
Yeah.
But this way turned out a little awkward. Now Falcons want to seemingly fight as much as possible. Don't blame them for it. Their Bristleback is peaking.
It should be noted, Falcons during the replay, they tried to do Roshan, then thought better of it, said, okay, BetBoom's going to respawn too quickly. They are going to try and contest us, so we still have this battle around the Roche pit.
Yeah.
But it is a fight that Falcons are set up for, and BetBoom only had a few members, and it looks like they've now given up on it. Pure has been free farming this entire time. Like, he wasn't a part of that fight. He's been on this side of the map, and everybody else has been on the other side.
So, literally just been hitting creeps for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's what he needs to do, so we'll keep doing it until he feels strong enough to fight.
Pure is gonna not get caught. He's fine.
Yeah, having that shard there, very nice. Despite having a bad game, he still opts to buy this himself instead of waiting around to... I mean, getting it from the Tormentor on TA is just not a thing, right? It takes way too long before everybody else has got there. So if you want it, you might as well buy it early and have as much impact with it as possible for the remainder of the game.
I feel like it's such a sick, impactful.
Yeah, it's really good.
traps, like TA traps by themselves, just the vision is really strong, but then
That's Omi.
not much you can do about that one. Mar throws his quills around, and he will be having a Bloodstone very soon, and with the strength of the Aegis as well, he can kind of bulldoze down whatever towers he wants to, especially with the Seeing Red facet.
Yeah.
And there he goes. Activates that. Look at the damage. 400 damage a hit at 19 minutes.
Dire's
Pretty
middle
cool.
tower has fallen.
Valrine. Aggressive posturing here. Save is going to evacuate, so Miro is kind of just being sold here.
Oh, he got him right as he tried to onslaught. He's going to have to BKB TP. He did not want to have to use his BKB that way.
No, that's not ideal.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like Amar tried to pressure Kiyotaka, ended up losing all his mana, but look who's here!
Hey.
It's the Butler! With a fresh apple juice for Bristol. Oh,
There it is.
well, it's Kiyotaka, but close enough. Also, if that's apple juice, I think those apples might be a little old. Kiyotaka kicked into the river. And
That's
silenced.
good, but the Hoodwink is already dead.
Oh, the haste
Kiyotaka
rune.
tornado!
Oh,
and he
that's
runs
so
away on
lucky.
the haste rune. He's running! Amar!
Oh,
the magnetize! He's gonna live through the dots, and they can't keep up with him. He's now Ghost Walk. He's now regenning. Back into the river here. Dead shot. It doesn't actually push Amar away from here.
Unreal how lucky.
That was...
The haste spawns in front of him. That was a miracle moment. The classic. Back in the day when Roche was close to the power rune, and teams would just get a TD and then go Roche. The miracle classic, but this time it's a haste for Kiyotaka. My god, that's such a low percentage chance. It needs to spawn top and it needs to be that exact rune he's dead.
Ooh, yeah.
Stepping.
Pure is
Oh.
coming. Nice shot from Crit, though. Gets the return kill. And now Amar's going to get a second kill. It's looking like they're still going to fight this out, actually, with Miro here. They're blow up the Hoodwink. No, Decrepit fight. Trampled. Real quick, Miro's able to deal with that. Kataomi, he did not end up getting focused by Amar. Amar tried to help out his teammates. They snowball each other away. And Amar will not be able to chase anybody down. It feels like it's already down to a minute 30. This Aegis is not been able to do much with it.
No. Once again, BetBoom
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
making a lot of really good moves. Now they're going to take the first Tormentor of the game as well. The double meld plus tag team.
Radiant's top tower
That's
is under
fast.
attack.
You're going to see the replay here.
Oh,
Just-
nice shards. Didn't see that part.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Amar wanted to chase him anyway or if he wanted to go south regardless to try to help his teammates out with that fight, but that way he gets neither.
Hurricane Pike is going to be a big upgrade for this Templar Assassin. Pure is going to be able to deal with Amar a bit better. He's just trying to stay ahead of Amar at all times. 50 seconds left on the Aegis now.
Yeah, he's been trying to stay ahead of Amar all game, but he just for the first time was ahead of him on net worth.
True. Yeah.
So now he's actually ahead. In terms of that. Of the gold now, 30 seconds is all that's left on the Aegis. I don't really think they can force very much
Ooh.
with it.
Pure's a little low on mana. I guess there's no way they can stop him from blinking away, though.
Bushwhack tried to connect, but Pure's ready.
Radiant's top tower
Alright, they'll
is
claim the
under
tower, maybe.
attack.
Glyph.
Dire's structures
5k
are falling.
loss during this Aegis timing.
Yeah.
All they will have gotten out of it is a tier 2. You could see BetBoom is just working them on the map. These heroes are grouped up mid. Look at the sides of the map.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
there's even
tower
backdoor,
is
so
under
this isn't...
attack.
They might eventually get this tower, but it doesn't feel great how long this took. And they didn't feel confident. I think sometimes we've just seen teams just
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
play a bluff where the Bristle would just be solo there with the Aegis pushing the tower alone.
Yeah.
And then the other heroes are out on the map, but Falcons actually anticipated that BetBoom might try for a fight, so they stuck around with a lot of heroes, and as you said, that's going to cost you in the efficiency department. Where BetBoom were just farming both side lanes, pushing things out, taking the jungles away. So sure, you get that mid tower, but I don't even know. I think whatever gold they got for that tower,
Radiant
BetBoom got
are
the same.
scanning.
Yeah.
So you got the map control out of it, but the mid-tier 2 isn't particularly important in this game.
Dire's bottom
Now they will
tower
go for their
is under
Tormentor
attack.
finally, it looks like, for Falcons.
Amar is gonna build a boots and travel.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. This stands out a little bit that he wants to get bots next in this situation. It feels like he needs all the move speed and global mobility that he can get, but
Radiant's middle
it does
tower
mean
is
that an
under attack.
eventual BKB will be delayed quite a lot.
Yeah.
That's the item you would love to have against, in particular, Invoker. It's like the only item that's good, truly good against Invoker, right?
Better
He
at
has so
dealing
many
with
spells.
better at dealing with the rats, but worse for the team fight.
Yeah.
If we go into some sort of 5v5 and he just gets EMP'd, BetBoom might be able to win that fight.
We had this conversation yesterday about how many abilities Invoker has to kite heroes with. And that's why basically all cores that rely on sticking on their target will eventually buy a BKB against Invoker, because you're dealing with Cold Snap, Tornado, EMP Shard, and Ice Wall.
Yeah.
And you just can't navigate fights without this. And he's going to change his mind. He is going for the BKB instead of travel.
Crit! Oh, Bushwhack goes off. Now he's still going to be... Oh, nice ultimate gets over the shards.
Sunstrike?
A Sunstrike coming in. He's healed. He lives through it all, and now here comes Skeeter. Throws down the Eclipse. It's going to be Kataomi down first. They're going to try and catch up to save. Pure is thinking about setting up an area to fight around traps. Miro's already charged away, though, so I think it's full retreat for BetBoom.
Damn, they only got 1 kill out of that. That was a very good disengage. Looked like save could at least have been a secondary kill, but they covered him with the TA Trap Silence against Earth Spirit. They do get out. Now, this upcoming timing for Falcons is scary, though. That's a BKB Luna, and it's going to be a BKB Bristle in a minute. So the next team fight, they are very well equipped to...
Dire are scanning.
As long as they can lock heroes down and keep them in the proximity of the Luna and the Bristle, they're going to win the fights.
Go, Miro. That's cheeky. He's going to go use his BKB to get the kill and TP out. Nice.
Nice.
play.
That was clutch. Beautiful.
But yes, the classic Falcons triple BKB window where I feel like so many times they hit this window and then 5 minutes later they have like a 10,000 net worth lead.
Yep.
So BetBoom gotta be careful.
The good news for BetBoom, though, is they have decent ways of stalling. So you need to outlast these BKBs or just be out of range when they get popped so they can't get all of their damage out. They have the Pike on TA to try to get away from a BKB Bristle and a BKB Luna. The Invoker has Ghost Walk. They have Snowball.
So obnoxious, man. Sharded in, EMP guaranteed to land.
And they also do have a BKB Piercing. They actually have 2 BKB Piercing stuns. Should never be underestimated against these heroes. If you're really popping hard commit on a Luna, for example, and you're just spending half your BKB sitting in a Pulverize, then if Tia can go to work, she can offset that fight.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Punch is there. So it's not that clear cut, really. Despite having these 3 BKBs, I can say with confidence that Falcons are even favored in the upcoming team fight. It's under the condition that they find the right heroes and they get the right positioning. And this is something that their lineup perhaps... This hasn't really shown itself to be a problem in this game so far, but their catch is kind of limited. It's almost only the Earth Spirit, and he has a pretty telegraphed role in. Aside from that, Hoodwink with the Bushwhack can be a catch, but a lot of the time you can counteract it, or if you're ready, or if you're standing in the right placement in lane, it's not necessarily that effective. My god. It's all his mana. There's just another Pike.
Manta.
It's not going to reach here.
He's good. So, Luna, we talked about how feel like Conda is always the item.
Yeah.
What would you say to this being a butterfly game and just forcing a high ground? Because right now, I don't feel good about the game state for Falcons. They have this triple BKB, but they can't catch heroes.
Oh, there's a sentry snaking. Got it to Crep.
He didn't know there was a sentry there, just a random sentry.
I see where you're coming from, but I think I don't think they win with that either right away, right? So you got to look at it from the perspective of hang on.
Oh, catching Kiyotaka would be massive. He got stuck on the cliff between cliffs.
Yes,
he's going to be able to get back up. Manta but he is very much in need of saving here, and I don't think they have anything to really bail him out. Meanwhile, Amar has taken a lot of attention from the rest of BetBoom, and he's pushing them back. He's going to get grabbed. They're going to try and blow him up, but an interception there from Crit. Nice bushwhack. Miro still going to chase after it. Has his Aghanim Scepter. Amar gets the BKB off just barely in time. Almost dies to that big burst of damage from the Primal Beast Axe.
Amar is dead there if Miro BKBs the Pulverize.
Yeah.
But he didn't cover his bases and got immediately cancelled, so a little bit of a misstep there. That could have been so much better for BetBoom. Losing their Invoker for nothing, definitely not the result they were looking for in that situation. So yeah. Close. It's the little things sometimes. So what I was going to get at with the Kondo and Luna versus Butter is if he goes for the Butterfly and they try to push high ground, I don't think they're... I think going high ground is really hard, first of all, against the lineup you're facing. Ice Shards, Pulverize, Invoker, TA Traps.
Yeah.
Basically, every hero on BetBoom has something that's stupidly annoying to push into, even the calling, right? There's just so many things that make it difficult. With a Conda, Crit will be found, and he is very dead.
Very interesting situation. BetBoom, Falcons gave up on doing Dire Side Roshan, moved to the other side of the map with their heroes. BetBoom getting a pickoff like this gives them the confidence to just go through the gate and take over this Radiant side, and now they've caught Maureen. They've caught him in a chainsaw with the EMP coming out. They've already killed him, and now they're going to look at Amar. He's blocked in by the shards, and Pure has the break to be able to... Yeah, they've got double breaks. Good situation for BetBoom that turns into even more.
3 kills in a Roche. Blink and you'll miss it. Aegis now for Pure. And now BetBoom are in a commanding position in this game. This sequence was very, very important. And it showcases how they have solved this bristle in the draft. When Amar doesn't have BKB, he's not a concern.
Yeah.
Just have so many solutions. So, very nicely done there from the side of BetBoom. Falcons can't be too happy about this. They probably felt like they were in a decent position earlier on, but with Pure completely recovering and now being clearly ahead, having the Aegis, having the counter item against Bristle, he's closing in on a Daedalus now as well. The Chrysalis is on the way out. He has Alacrity. We haven't even talked about that. Alacrity and Tag Team. This TA definitely has some good friends here.
My biggest concern is that the Luna is not going to be able to get through the refraction. And if he's ever targeted by the TA, he is gonna die.
Yeah.
Like if they, like you said, he pops BKB and they just get one of their 2 BKB piercing disables and Pure gets a chance to hit him.
Oh, this roll.
Oh, Maureen's gonna be in. Invoker I thought was gonna take advantage of that situation. Now tries, but roll away.
Wow, I thought they were gonna force his BKB right there and then on the high ground, but a little bit of hesitation from the BetBoom side. Things might calm down a little bit here as TA and Invoker are effectively out of mana, so not really looking to fight much. But they still have great control of the game. Not often minute 30 that we see Falcons cowering in their base with 4 heroes.
Nope.
This is usually the inverse situation where it's them running the map and the other team that needs to make the mid-game comeback play, but BetBoom with this very strong draft. And I think Falcons are also super paranoid because of the TA traps. They just don't know where they're being scouted, and they could get jumped at any point in time. Some of their heroes get 2-shot. The Pugna as well as the Hoodwink cannot survive a TA trap.
So they kind of have to follow Amar everywhere he goes if they're afraid of traps. He's the one with the gem.
Such a major efficiency loss, though. You kind of have to play the map. Now, Luna with the Conda opens up some interesting avenues if you get farmed enough, get the level 20 talent now. 25 is obviously far away, but never count this hero out in a late game scenario. It's going to have a good chance of getting these bouncing glaives to jump on multiple targets that you want, since the enemy lineup naturally is one that kind of piles on top of you with Tusk, with Primal, with TA coming in close. So I do think Skitter can still... This game can still be solved by Falcons because of Skitter's Conda.
They're going to bait it. They have the TA top with the Aegis, showing aggressively, and BetBoom moved to the other side of the map. So there's kind of that play you were talking about where you disguise your team movement by showing an Aegis holder.
Yeah. and the traps are... TA is still there in spirit.
Dire are scanning.
Even just a silence. I mean, Pure made that kill really easy. Just sounds the hoodwink and be done with it.
Yeah.
Got it.
34 minutes, 8k lead. 2 minutes on the Aegis. It's not easy for BetBoom to high ground either. You can get rolled on and kicked into the base. Decrepify is a great defensive tool.
Especially when your high ground hitter doesn't have BKB.
Yeah.
The Templar Assassin, Pure's just been going a very, very, I wouldn't say greedy, but I don't know, how would you describe his build? It's pretty mobility focused, right, with Hurricane Pike and then Silver Edge.
It's
now Daedalus for all damage.
It's glass cannon, right?
Yeah.
But not fully, because you still have good stats. But you're definitely vulnerable if you get caught, but you're playing on your... You're basically playing under the condition that you're not going to make major mistakes yourself. This is a build where you trust in your own ability.
Right. Probably less team fight focused.
Oh, that is not a good roll, Malrine.
He's gonna get grabbed.
He's
Miro.
just cooked.
He is done. Amar's throwing some quills. Oh, there goes Pure. There, those quills build up. And on the second life, he's going to get pulled in by the Bushwhack. They're going to try and snowball save him. Force step. They're trying to push him around. He's picked up by the snowball. Now the refraction goes off, but Pure is damage instances. They go away pretty damn quick. He throws out a Meld Strike onto the Earth Spirit. Miro, bot back, T-beat in. Malrine is in to be able to kill as many heroes as they can. They get 3 out of the buyback.
That's one of those unfortunate situations for BetBoom where you just panic a little bit. The double Force Staff did more harm than good.
Yeah.
Because your hero kind of... when you get Force Staffed, if you're already in the process of like turning or whatever, and you Force Staff again, usually you'll be facing back the opposite way. And that's exactly what happened there. He got forced out, and I don't know who Force Staffed first, if it was him or the teammate, but in those situations, it's nobody's fault. It just sucks. Because either of them, it's good that the Force Staffs get used. They just need to... It's difficult to communicate that perfectly in such a clutch moment. You just kind of have to go for it and hope that the other guy doesn't do it exactly simultaneously. Oh, Malrine.
Katomi coming in, trying to pick up with the snowball.
From the beam, that's just dirty.
And they're going to have another loosened beam soon. Kiyotaka pops his BKB, but it is in vain. BetBoom. They're falling apart now as their desk gets staggered. Skeeter has free reign to hit high ground now.
And he's going to keep getting healed by snaking whenever. He's going to give Amar some mana first, but now here we go. Skater will be back to full. Wow, just a moment ago, BetBoom were in total control, and then this one misstep with the double Force Staff not being able to reposition Pure, and then you just lose a lane. Such a fast conversion. This was a 10,000 gold swing in 1 minute. They might get more.
Miro, he pops his Ags. That scares away the Bristleback. The damage of Pure is still something to worry about here. 15 seconds until the Invoker's back up. They want to finish up this melee barracks.
They will manage.
Get that and should be able to make a clean out.
Yep.
Well, that certainly swung things quite a bit. Felt like BetBoom were just...
Well, that escalated quickly.
They've been in the driver's seat for like the last 20 minutes, it felt like, on BetBoom, but...
Damn, the graphs are actually really satisfying. They just go hand in hand, all three.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfectly aligned. But yeah, this is effectively showing what we were feeling in the game, right? Like, it was looking good for Falcons in the first 20 minutes. BetBoom were still staying afloat, and then at some point they were getting into a good position. Even though the expectancy was only 50-50, it still felt like nice for them. But one moment, and all of it's out the window. Skitter will lead the charge here. He's a difficult kill. 3,400 health, 30 armor, knowing there's a Pugna behind. It's not easy to just go on him right away and expect a nice outcome. They would rather find the supports first if they could. Killing Pugna first in, honestly, this tournament feels like the best entry you can get into a fight.
Yeah.
This is in the game. Like, it's just the best kill.
And it's going to be made a little bit easier for Pure as he has the Meld Bash now.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a nullifier, so he can't remove the...
Saving up on the high ground. Immediate Decrepify going off while Maureen rolls into the back and hits the Magnetize. He is going to get grabbed and shredded by Pure. That is going to be him out. No recovery possible for this one. Falcons. Oh, that dead shot. Slipped right on by Snake King, who glimmered TP'd away.
Back and forth we go.
And Amar, he doesn't have TP.
Good
Oh, and he's
start.
spotted by Katomi.
Clutch.
I wonder if they knew his TP was on cooldown. And that's why they went fishing for it. Because, like, why else would you search for him? That was a sick find.
He had the gem. I don't think they realize.
Yeah, probably not. Oh.
They maybe do? No. That's just TA sending out her item. So yeah, that gem is going to stay there. Because Falcons can try to recover it with a curry if they want. Doesn't seem like they're trying to, which is a bit surprising. Snake King. Tornado off that. And, well, Kiyotaka, do you have enough? Sucky, sucky! Oh, he's still...
Oh, God, the Skeeter's here. Run, Kiyotaka.
Oh, no, if he dies for this, it's real bad. All right, he got out.
Dire's middle
Maybe this will actually bait something. He's still hounding them.
He is.
Katomi, but... All right.
Yeah, they don't have Pure here. No sense in trying to take a fight without that guy.
Damn, Pugna's a hero, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy hero.
So I think the healing looked
Radiant's top tower is
rather
under
extreme
attack.
as well because of the facet. When Invoker starts casting spells under Nether Ward,
Yeah.
you do heal quite a lot extra.
No? Let's get started.
Okay. And BetBoom are kind of back where we left off now, before that bad fight, except their barracks don't respawn in this game, unlike other inferior games. Here comes the smoke from Falcons. Probably the game-deciding moment, this one. If BetBoom win this fight and get the Roche, they might just end it. And, I mean, Falcons themselves, they've shown they are not.
They're running into potentially an amp damage TA.
And the traps are so good in this area.
Yeah, as soon as their smoke breaks, you're probably going to get some vision on somewhere off of it.
We'll clear out some of them with that gem from Amar.
Preemptively putting the Alacrity on the TA. The jump forward onto the Bristleback. Now, Pure doesn't follow that immediately. Maybe a miscoordination there from BetBoom. Not the cleanest engage. Miro's going to pop his BKB, TP out. Katomi tries to do the same. He gets blown up by Lucent Beam. It's another Roshan for Falcons.
They were just not on the same page at all there.
Yeah.
That was, dare I say, the worst play of the game. They just sent in the Primal, popped his ult on the Bristle, and everybody just watched and said, nope, we can't do that. And then Falcons were like, well, we can. So,
Fallen to the Radiant.
oh, that's gotta feel pretty bad. Like, you effectively, there are multiple ways of playing that situation, and they just chose. I can't even say that that was necessarily the worst way to do it, going on the Bristle, but they didn't really try it. So, I'll say on a pro level in Dota, the worst thing that can happen is that you're doing two different things in the fights. Because if the enemy team are in unison and they know exactly what they want to do, even if you're... Like, let's say you have two different ideas and one of them is the best possible and the other one is all right. Well, if you're not executing them simultaneously or doing the best thing together, the enemy team can have an okay idea, but if they all do the same, they might just win the fight regardless. In that instance, that it was just handed to them. That was just way too easy. It didn't even feel like Falcons really needed to decide anything. Big damage. Okay. Malry.
Maureen got bashed. Oh, there's that meld bash for you. And he got a TA trap on 3, slowing them all down. Skeeter pops his BKB. Walrus punch up in the air. A bushwhack that held back the Primal Beast and stopped him from grabbing the Luna. Luna's still dead, but they do get a return kill off of it. Amar pushed away, deafening blast, praying that Quills are gonna get him out of this situation. It's certainly not gonna be the supports. They're being hunted down right now. It's Amar with a BKB. There's just no way, right? There's just no way. It was still a little close, but Pure does deliver the damage required to bring down the Bristleback for an Ultra.
it feels like having an advantage is just bad in this game.
Yeah.
The team that's ahead just keeps losing. I'm eagerly awaiting the next move from BetBoom toward the Radiant high ground where things are just going to go wrong. Whether it's on the push itself or they get caught outside of base. Yeah, Malrine definitely was not expecting that amount of damage. Did he even pop the cheese, I think? And he still died? There was a cheese, right? Yeah, it was Roche 3.
Yeah, there's a refresher shard on him. I don't see a cheese.
Yeah, he had a big burst heal next to the tower, and then he got bashed right after he used it. So it was just not expecting that overwhelming play from BetBoom. Now, oh, they're in. Oh. Reset away.
Not even these strength heroes are safe.
His push is so fast. You give Alacrity to TA.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Pop, pop, pop.
Radiant's
Now-
Like a machine gun.
They still have the tier 2 up at top, so this would only be 2 lanes.
Instant melt bash. That's the BKB of Malrine down. Pure has his own now.
He turns around, throws damage at Malrine. Malrine gets grabbed, and that's the end of him. Skeeter.
Skeeter's
he got
hexed.
sniped the fight by Kiyotaka. Force staff, trying to get him away. Katomi's in deep, though. He snowballed after them, and that is going to be his demise. Crit, he goes dead shot. That's going to stop that TP real nice and quick. And now a Gleipnir. Pure is backing away. They've called it quits on this team fight. BetBoom say, we got a trade. Was it good for them? I can't. Who won that fight?
Well, numerically Radiant won it, which makes sense because they were behind.
Sure.
So, the team that's behind wins every fight this game.
All right.
That was a very small win, though. That was like a few hundred gold.
swiftly to the temple's defense.
It definitely makes sense for me that BetBoom, their lineup is just much worse when they're trying to force a team fight. Because I feel like they're so much better playing defensively and splitting and like getting the pick off that leads into an advantage. But then taking a full 5-on-5, it is difficult for this.
They're also really good at counterplaying. I think that's what makes this game so interesting and probably why the aggressive or the leading team ends up losing fights is that both teams have very good counterplay. If the original initiation isn't completely crisp, one team has Decrep to save, and it has the Earth Spirit just total counterplay combo break, and the Luna with level 25 now on Skitter, but until then it was just like the long-range artillery with just the 20 talent. And on BetBoom's side, if you fail your initiation, well, you're not really going to get out of there. There's traps, Tusk will chase you, Primal Beast will chase you, Invoker has every spell in the world to chase you with. So you got to make sure that when you strike, you make it count. And it is challenging for both teams to just isolate and kill a target because of those counterplays. Well, here's eyeing up a Rapier. That's a little bit crazy, maybe. Don't know if that's necessary here, but we'll probably end the game one way or another if he picks this one up. Oh, they're trying to get in on him. Not going to happen. Hex!
Immediately psyched, EMP'd, grabbed
No
Malrine.
save.
His initiations are just ruined.
Yep.
They keep on dancing away from him. Refresh from Miro. He's going to charge after. Who does he want to grab here? He's going to run over Crit. That's going to be just a casual roadkill there for Squirrel. And he gets the grab on the Luna. That's the important grab. A buyback from Crit is not going to be here in time. Cannot save the carry of Falcons.
Yeah.
BetBoom, they
Falcons.
finally got their team fight.
They tried to do something aggressive with the Earth Spirit, just got insta-counterplayed. You just can't afford to miss the roll. Oh my god, the damage!
And that's without the Divine Rapier. The Divine Rapier is coming in. Amar's dead. They both have buyback.
Yep, they have to burn both immediately. Base is falling apart. Let's see if they even go back. This is a 5-on-3.
Swapped out the Hurricane Pike for Divine Rapier. Goes onto the Luna immediately. Pops his BKB. Can he get a crit out of this to finish off Skeeter? Skeeter up into the high ground. He does get it. A 2K crit to finish him off. Another one to kill Amar as well. He is decimating the Falcons lineup. They are done.
Damn.
GG, game one. Close matchup between BetBoom and Falcons. Back and forth for Assault is BetBoom, who managed to take game one. It was a back and forth game, but I thought BetBoom was pretty damn impressive, Synderen.
Yep. They've definitely impressed this tournament. This has been This has been a cool tournament to watch so far, in particular because of BetBoom and Power Vision really leveling up. You get very entertaining teams to watch. You've always known that the players are individually talented, but it doesn't always come together and go to the next level. But so far, so good for those two teams. And now Falcons will need to try to respond in this game and swing it back around. Crit is going to just flat out walk into death, trying to get down here and get some info, but he had already placed the ward beforehand on the left, but it didn't see them down to the bottom right. So because of this ward, he felt confident walking over there, and it kind of ended up working against him. A little unfortunate.
You think they all tipped save afterwards? You think that was his game plan?
Might have been
there?
his call.
Yeah, maybe this is a ward that they placed before.
Yeah.
And they just counterplayed it.
That is very possible that that's why they did it. So a pretty major change up in some things here, and other things remain the same. So Kataomi will play the Tusk once more together with the TA, so that's the same. And on the side of Falcons, they will be laning against the Bristleback once more, not the Hoodwink this time with it. It will be the Lion. I would argue this is a weaker lane because Lion just has less damage, so you pose less of a kill threat. And then overall, Falcons with ultimately the all-inclusive hotel lineup for the Medusa and Storm. They have the two
concierges.
Yeah, I guess that's a good word for it. Pugna as well as Lion will give them whatever they want all game. And, well, as is the case with an all-inclusive holiday, you've paid for it. Paid for it with game number 1. You better pay it back if these two are going to walk around and just make you the gods of the game.
I have bunting for you.
Sommelier.
Ah, yes.
Say that. There you go.
Indubitably.
The wine guy.
Ah, yeah.
The snobby wine guy.
You have to be snobby.
They're always snobby, man.
Really?
I don't know. I've never... I don't go to nice restaurants.
Oh.
And I don't drink wine. So.
That's... Okay, well, that makes you extremely unqualified to make that statement. Literally just talking completely out of your ass with no info.
Yeah, but it's how I imagine sneaking.
Oh, okay. They're just throwing shade at players
how
instead.
I imagine snaking puts forward his mana. Welcome, this is a 98 mana pool. Fine flavor.
Well, I don't know anything about wine, but I think snaking's a snob. Crit's in trouble, by the way. This is kind of awkward. He'll try to get the curry. He will manage, but this is going to cost him a ton of resources. He's not going to die, but he expended a lot of mana on that. He's gone 1-1-0, so only has the mana for an Earth Spike now. And again, a stark contrast to game number 1. This time around, Pure actually gets to play the lane already, with Crit being this low on resources. And if Pure's performance last game is anything to go by, imagine when he has a good start.
Mid lane is not going the best. It is Storm Spirit versus Pango. It's probably a big reason why they did that setup in the first place. They're like, all right, guys, we want to get Kiyotaka first blood so we can rush a bottle with his all-branch build. And he did do that. And the bottle hasn't made enough of a difference. He is behind 9 CS right now and 6 denies.
Yeah, what do you make of the Bloodstone? Excuse me, Blightstone. Okay, relax. Is that a good item to buy when you're leaning against Storm as Pango?
I mean, Storm has pretty good
him.
armor.
Who's killing who? It's
the
close.
Blightstone? Woo. Okay.
Malrine needs to be careful he doesn't get spell comboed now. I think Kiyotaka will be hungry for this play.
Yeah. Level 2 swashbuckle. Got him! All right. I think the Blightstone is fantastic, Sinrin.
I mean,
Look how much damage he did.
I was looking at Malrine and I was checking the resources and I was like, I'm actually not even sure he dies, but he didn't pop Wand or Fairy Fire in that play. That just caught him completely off guard. In the meantime, good pressure here onto Skitter. Have to mango him.
You know why he caught him off guard? Because he took more damage from the shield crash because of the Blightstone.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just like, damn.
I thought you were going to make an on guard joke there. I was so ready for it. Because it's Pangolier.
No, he doesn't have that spell name anymore.
He never did he?
He had something else. It wasn't Lucky Shot, right? It was something else.
Yeah, what was it was called before? Heart Piercer?
Heart Piercer, yes.
Yeah, it almost sounds the same as On Guard now that you say it out loud, actually.
The romantic pangolin. Whatever, man.
You got it.
That should be called On Guard. That's a good name for
Yeah,
it.
that would be a nice name.
You're a genius, Cinderin.
Thank you so much. Now, here's the problem. Storm's going to get level 6 later than Pango, so he could die again.
I thought you were going to talk about this problem.
I mean, this is a different problem.
This is a problem.
Snaking, oh, here's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. He's going to be snowballed. Didn't pick up the Mars. Lost a little damage as a result. Snaking gets off the healing salve, and Kataomi is going to be the one to die instead. Pin comes out. It did do damage to the two Snakings.
Oh, there's that play. Malrine, can he find a way out of this?
Nice
Good
use
glyph.
of the glyph to make sure the creep wave stays alive. He's going to come out of the ball, kill him, and make a run, head for the hills before the TP comes in. Snaking shows up, but he doesn't have the damage.
He's going to take some damage, too.
Oh, see, he's going to go for Snaking? He had shield crash. He really could have gone for it.
Yeah, he was worried he was going to take some damage from the Nether Ward and then maybe get blasted. I actually think that was good to call that off.
Yeah, plus you
It
could
was
always
gonna be close.
decrepify, right?
Yeah.
Dodge the shield crash.
It was always going to be close, and rather, in this situation, err on the side of caution. You're in such a good position in this game. Don't throw it away over greed. It's Pango well atop the net worth charts.
He was getting crushed in CS. Now he's top net worth just in 2 minutes. A massive swing.
And he did it all on his own. It was 2 solo kills in mid. So, Kiyotaka really playing an outstanding game now. Save will deny the runes. Possibly going to cost him his life. Maybe not, actually. He's going to get out, too. Nothing going Malrine's way in this early game.
Yeah. And Kiyotaka playing like somebody said something to him. Fired him up.
Yep.
Kataomi, he's good. All right, well, this is a very different situation from game one where BetBoom are the ones being the aggressors. They're the ones who are getting the net worth lead. Their Templar Assassin is doing a much better job against the Bristleback. They're still doing their aggro like trialing where they brought both supports up to top lane, but it's just netting them an advantage, whereas before they were simply trying to recover from a bad laning phase.
Yeah.
A nice snatch.
Compared to game number one, if BetBoom won that one, this is one of the one. This by all means should be easier than the previous game. When you're doing this well early on, Malrine will be okay. But they're really putting some pressure here, trying to get a rotation out of Falcons potentially. Yeah, top 3 net worth this time sitting on the side. Oh, Falcon. RB careful.
He's got another refraction,
Who's
so
going
Pure
blue,
is
really?
kind of fine with this. How different? So we've got a similar lineup, I would say, for BetBoom.
Yeah.
But Falcons is a bit different, but in what kind of way? Oh, nice shards. Unfortunately, ice shards don't allow you to pin off of them.
I think similar to... Oh, hang on. We don't really have time to talk, Cap.
Calling.
It's time to kill!
Kill, kill, kill. Rah, rah, rah.
Leave it for Pure. He comes through the gate. Yeah, so I think the primary difference between last game and this game for Falcons is... So last game they had the Earth Spirit and Hoodwink as their setups, and this time it's Storm and Lion.
Yeah.
I would make the case that Storm is even more item dependent than Earth Spirit is.
Okay.
And the Lion... kind of the same as Hoodwink in terms of needing more items. If you don't have any utility item on Lion, it's really hard to play aggressively because you always need to compromise your position and you're extremely fragile. Hoodwink can play on a little bit more range, she's a little bit more mobile. So if things are very slow for Falcons, my struggle with their lineup is playmaking. Now these are the 2 heroes we just talked about that can do it. Well, they're going to combine against a support mid and likely get this done, maybe not.
He's making a run for it, gets blasted down, but the
cost them.
setup, oh, the calling just keeps hitting with the Rolling Thunder. Great combo from Kiyotaka and save, and Snaking's to Decrepify. A run out eventually. Dominating streak for Kiyotaka. So they need more items, but would you agree that their initiation is, like, better? Right? We saw the Earth Spirit, like, he rolled in. There wasn't, like, with all the Force Staffs and stuff, there wasn't a guarantee that his roll would land. You said at the end, like, what happens if you miss?
Yeah.
It just goes terribly.
I mean, I will say it's more reliable this game, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's better because the issue of the lineup in this game is you are putting all your eggs into this Medusa and Storm basket, right? Your two supports' purpose in the game is off of them. Okay.
And those Ancients, they're a part of those eggs in that basket, and the Medusa dies trying to defend them. An instant tip from Kiyotaka as Skeeter blunders into the middle of 5 BetBoom heroes. Falcons still fighting it out, though. 4 versus 5. They've got a kill on Kiyotaka. A pin goes out. The Bristleback is being saved by Staking. BetBoom is losing this fight now. Miro's trying to create the space for Pure to be able to retreat, but he's slowed down to a crawl. So much goo. The Earth Spike and a pin back is simply not going to be enough. Falcons, sure, they lost their Dusa, but the fight overall was good.
Yeah. Big mistake from BetBoom. Don't get ahead. We've
True.
seen in this series, if you're ahead, it's bad. Maybe the secret is getting ahead and then not playing aggressively and just staying ahead. Maybe Falcons have it figured out. But they made the same mistake last game, if that is a mistake.
So this is right where they want to be, right? Where they are behind, but barely behind.
Yeah, and they're in the defensive position, and they're getting run into. In all seriousness, though, the big difference maker there is just the overall positioning. Because, yeah, they blast the Medusa, but they pop a lot of spells to do it. And that time around, Falcons supports have really, really good placement. So they get all their spells off a couple of times, and of course, both Bristle and Storm, and of course we've mentioned the Dusa, benefit so much from these drains from their allies. If it's extended fights, you're looking quite good right now. It's when the burst comes in the very early game and later that things can get problematic. And they do get the kill on Kiyotaka there, which... Who got the bounty on that? That was a Mar.
Okay.
So he gets a nice influx. Now, for some comparison, last game now he had Ags.
Yeah.
He is 1,000 off. 2,000 off. Excuse me.
But
he does have treads, so that's 1,000 less, right? Roughly.
yeah. He also doesn't have to deal with the Invoker this time around.
Yeah.
So he may get his Ags later, but it may hit harder just because he'll actually have the mana to take these team fights.
Oh, you say that. There's a Diffusal on Pango.
True.
It's not as good as EMP, though.
No.
So, but it's still a factor. And I'm expecting Kiyotaka to absolutely try to get the Ags as fast as possible to just get more and more swashbuckle hits off in fights. He'll even buy the treads here for some more stats and attack speed.
Yeah.
Kobold.
That Kobold. That 3 gold probably felt really good.
Yeah, that was worth it. Showed him.
Remember when Diffusal Blade had charges?
Mm-hmm.
That was such a weird idea.
And then you upgraded it to level 2, and then it got another 8 charges.
Yeah.
And then it ran out. And then you had to buy a new one. Originally, you couldn't refill it with another recipe, I think. That was an idea that came in. The original Diffusal was just used.
Yep.
But that Diffusal Blade could also purge Sven ulti, so it was quite good.
Forgot about that. Sven dispellable ult.
Yeah. And you could one-shot the Golem.
Yep.
Just purge the Warlock Golem and it would die. You could purge Insatiable Hunger, which was Brood's ulti at the time, I think. Yeah. That
sounds right.
Maybe it was fine that it had charges. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, the current design is just more elegant, I think. That was always a bit clunky. Original Yules also had charges until you upgraded it into Hex. Those were that was the build path to Hex, was using Yules along the way.
Yeah.
A lot has changed.
All right, Blink Dagger picked up for the Mars. So BetBoom, if they want to keep, they seem to be very aggressive. Like Kiyotaka is just always playing right in front of their tier 2. If they want to keep using this aggression, actually find some kills, they're going to require an initiation, and that would have come from Miro.
Kiyotaka was
got picked off.
He was just standing under a ward. He just got jumped by Storm, and that was nice and easy for the side of Falcons finding that kill. I don't know if they can really convert it into much in terms of pushing here, but if nothing else, getting a pick here and there, keeping the game somewhat even is good enough. This isn't like a game where you need to get ahead. It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah. Another situation where they look like they're trying to create a lot of space for Pure. And he does have a Deso. So, fast Roshan? Because he could have gone Blink. But he opts for the damage item instead, which usually for me means I want to do Roshan right now.
Taka will walk forward again, actually completely alone here. But his teammate smokes are going to break. Crit. Easy pick. And that's going to be the tier 1 tower. Nice little pincer move there from BetBoom. Just corner him. Be an axe now completed for Amar, but obviously he will not be able to defend this tower. And yeah, as you said, BetBoom could think about Rosh. The problem is now it's 15 minutes, so he's going to switch sides. And up there, I think it's a lot scarier, but maybe they will get started on it. At least Pierre's going to push up here and just farm, but I don't really feel like his plan is ultimately getting to Rosh. More so just maximizing efficiency here. And taking the Wisdom Rune, of course.
If you wanted to maximize efficiency, stacking that camp would have been nice.
It was too late.
Yeah, fair.
Unless maybe he could have stacked it with a very quick trap. If you cast that from like
awesome.
max range and then perhaps. How long is the slow when you cast it instantly? It's pretty short, right? It's like a second or something?
Yeah, it's very short. It's not very effective.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have probably stacked it with a trap. What a noob.
Into the Roshan pit they go. Will this be a mistake? Okay, now I think they're out of the Roshan pit now.
They send out a scout, and we have confirmation. Falcons are coming. A bird sighting. Never knew Save was an ornithologist.
Still want to. I mean, Save is not going to be gone for long, so I guess.
This is a very, very good ward.
Peter's going to show, and I think BetBoom, they're going to try and take a fight off of the enemy carry no longer being here, but Falcons disciplined enough. They retreat. They're underneath a ward right now.
Oh, Save again? Really?
Save? I think he's baiting it, though. They had vision of all these heroes. They're trying to get them to try and jump on a stage so they can catch inside the arena, and they got to. Not a bird at all. Apparently, he's a worm.
So when I said Save, really, I thought he was about to walk up the exact same high ground that he just died on. But he stayed on the low ground, and the moment Storm jumped, he insta-popped his ult to stay alive, and yeah. That's 2 kills, and probably Roche. I don't think Falcons, even with these short respawn timers, are particularly interested. As I say that, though, Malrine does have a regen. Mars far away. Could TP on the outpost, but no. It's theirs. Tag team and meld. And Lucky Shot. What a nice trio of heroes to kill Roche with.
Alright, so you got the Aegis. It did create some time and space. Skeeter completes his Manta, and Bristleback is going to work towards BKB. So we'll see how much BetBoom get done with this little play. 5 minutes. Ward is finally scouted. Just outside of vision.
Definitely is a bit of a nuisance for Falcons that they always have to deal with these traps. It's causing some issues in that situation, but what Falcons generally do very well is in stalemate games, they are just most of the time the most efficient team. But that's where teams like BetBoom and PowerVision, in my opinion, have really caught up, is the ways in which Falcons used to win a lot of their games just passively. It doesn't seem like that's been the case so much this tournament anymore. Pure's gonna bait. They can't go for this. They're not even gonna try.
Way too dangerous.
Yeah. Skitter Illusion.
Stupendous.
Will be fighting this Kobold. Truly a fight for the ages here.
Thank you, Observer.
Yep, fight for
Highlights the Aegis.
Yeah, well, that's not what I meant.
All right, so time to take a tier 2. We also have a little over 2 minutes until they can do the Wisdom Rune Tormentor play.
Yeah, Tormentor might be interesting here for BetBoom since they're already over here at minute 19 and taking the tower. You could linger, but Falcons is going to try to force a response in turn by just running up top and using the Pugna to push that tower. So now you're faced with a choice of BetBoom. Do you want to try to run into them and fight, or stick on that side?
I mean, Arena is running low on mana. They're making him zip quite a lot. They hit him with the Spear Arena. And they got him in the calling as well. I love Mars Muerta for that reason right there. Just the calling arena is such a dangerous combination. Oh my god! Kiyotaka is in. Just a little bit.
All right, guys. Found him. Oh, okay. I mean, he didn't have info. He just went for it and thought maybe he could stay alive with the shield crash and set his teammates up, but that was over-aggressive to be sure.
Nice hit from Miro. Catches another one with the blink. And Rodvatos from save will get another on top of that one. So one pick off turns to 3.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You thought that Falcons thought maybe they would just be able to take the other side of the map. BetBoom goes for the Tormentor.
5-head play.
They want to keep fighting.
Kiyotaka, the genius, just jumps in and dies so that Falcons try to push.
True.
But yeah, so in that situation, BetBoom stopped pushing the bot tier 2, and they're now going to return to that area to try to finish the job maybe before the Wisdom Rune. That would be a cool timing. The reason I was debating whether they should stay on this side or not is they could have just taken that tower and then kept control and get the Tormentor, and then they would have stolen the enemy one, but they probably thought it was going to come at the expense of their own, and they kind of wanted to fight with the Aegis that they had. So they smoked across the entire map and gave up on this push, and now that they come back, the Tormentor is gone. So now you're only getting the tower, maybe also the Wisdom. It looks like
we can take Wisdom.
So you get tower and Wisdom, but no Tormentor steal. Getting a double on that would have been very nice for the TA team, but they will settle for a 1-to-1 split. But they might get both Wisdoms because Falcons are not over there. And actually, they might also just get their own Tormentor. Falcons don't seem particularly interested in walking across to over there to take that top tower and then that Wisdom. They playing a more defensive top position.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. They have a lot of catch on BetBoom. BetBoom obviously want to take a fight, and if Falcons are to show anywhere aggressively on the map, then...
Well, Snaking showed on a trap.
Yeah.
He's in big trouble.
He does have Glimmer, so...
Oh, Kiyotaka, or excuse me, Kataomi was trying to look for it. I thought that was going to end in a kill with Pure and Kataomi together, but Snaking, with the right read, he gets off the blast that he can, but doesn't overstay.
So not the most gained for during this Aegis window.
No,
that's for sure.
Definitely not. Amar closing in on a BKB. Going to be a big item here for him and for Falcons in general to structure their team fight, getting BKBs. Malrine with his Orchid would like to get his BKB ASAP as well, because every time we talked about these BetBoom jumps, you can't rely on Pugna saving you every time. It's just the kills are too fast and they have displacement with the Mars Spear. So the heroes have to be able to fend for themselves a bit.
Successful scan, crit.
Instead.
He's just trying to push out lanes, get some sort of response. He does get one, that's for sure.
It takes him a bit of time because he has the Solar Crest rather than a Blink, but that also means he can never escape. Now Snaking again, this time glimmering over. Now the Glimmer's on cooldown, so if he walks into a trap, didn't quite. Oh, now they see him. Let's see if Pure tries for anything. Yep. Oh, crap.
Turn around, here comes the snowball though.
He's just peace. Just TP's out in the fog instantly. Thanks, Snay. That's that all-inclusive holiday.
What's up, dude? What can you do?
It's surprising to me that BetBoom has only a 2,000 net worth lead when they're controlling both ancient areas against a Medusa and a Bristlebear.
That's Falcons for you. They're good at farming the map, playing the sides, but they will keep bleeding heroes. Kiyotaka claims another.
Radiant's top tower is under
But yeah, the majority of the kills they find are snaking and crit. So
Yeah.
the cores are still not being stifled all that hard. But at this, Falcons also still don't feel confident just looking for a fight themselves because they really want to get the BKB on Storm. I think that's the true game-changing item as far as they're concerned, is unlocking Malreen's ability to play aggressively. He bought the shard, but he can't really use it. So it feels a bit bad. But okay, now they're going to smoke. This is interesting. Wonder what the goal is here. Maybe they think that BetBoom are getting comfortable and that they will split up a bit and they can find a pick.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing this. The other item timing they just hit was Scotty on Skeeter, and they're smoked up without him right now. Miro, he's spotted. They're still a ways away, though. But he just keeps headed this direction. He should be fine.
Really good read to get out of there at that time. Recognizing based on the map position, they have a lot of traps bottom and they just pushed out mid. So with Falcons showing no heroes, where else could they be? Just a flat-out process of elimination there. This smoke is not really going to give them anything. Kiyotaka will join his team now. The jig's up. They know this play's coming. Sure will take care of the wave, so no information for Falcons to go off of. Except they clearly know that all of BetBoom are now on the right-hand side, but they don't know exactly where they are. They've burnt their smoke, so they will just dip and get back to farming. Bit of an attempt there, but nothing coming out of it. And now we're approaching nighttime Roche, so this is an interesting situation. Falcons are in a good spot top left and have it covered, but potentially BetBoom could just force them back to base with a push since they have a wave next to the base. But they don't know for a fact that Falcons are up there since they have 0 traps and 0 wards. If there was anything up there giving them this clue, I think Pure would have actually started hitting high ground. But now instead he's coming back to his own Ancients, and he's going to meet some friends over here potentially. Just chilling for now, not going to move forward. Waiting for the Muerta to come cover him, and now they're going to push that wave out and start getting ready to contest the Roche. So really textbook map movements here. Save smoke will break. Instant ward, D-ward. Doesn't see much. Wouldn't it be cool if you just cut these trees and everybody saw everything?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Falcons with a ward sentry on the left. BetBoom with a ward sentry on the right, but everybody in the fog for both teams.
Yeah, who's going to make the wraparound play?
Dire's bottom tower
I mean,
is
over
under attack.
time, it does allow the TA just to start spreading out the traps. And hurting heroes in. They go for the initiation on the toss. They blow him up with the finger and the orchid. But here comes the arena plus the rolling thunder. Now, the Dusa is down to about half mana, going fast as the TA is focusing him down. Good saves, Kiyotaka coming in and just hits him rolling thunder over and over again, but the saves coming out from Snake King helps out and keeps Skeeter alive. They chase after Pure. Pure with his BKB starts turning his attention on to crit. These supports need to die. They help out the cores too much, but Pure takes too much damage from Amar. Didn't have the refraction coming up back in time. Falcons will cleanly win this engagement.
That is the dream. They pumped so much damage into Medusa and she doesn't die. It basically can't get any better than that. That's the best case scenario. If they hadn't gone on Skitter but just kept them in the arena, the panel was talking about this as a viable strategy. Just catch the Medusa and go on the other heroes, but look at this. Spending so much time and so many resources on Skitter. They probably did like 5,000 damage to him, but with all that EHP and mitigation, he stays alive and all this damage is down the drain, and now you're in this awkward intermediary position where you've spent all of your stuff, and in comes Amar, the big winner of that fight, just doing tons and tons of damage.
His mana gets healed up so quickly.
Is under attack.
It's pretty crazy given that every point of mana is worth so much damage.
Yeah.
And now it's Falcons who take the Aegis, and they will take your Tormentor because you never did it.
Yeah, and the Wisdom Rune.
That is
a trade.
Big pickup. It gets crit his shard, which is all the better when you have, you know, Lion with this Dusa and Bristleback lineup.
Yep.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's
But now
bottom
Falcons
tower
are ahead.
is under attack.
So imminent doom.
True. Gonna try and push high ground.
Radiant's top tower
Get
has
wiped.
fallen.
We'll see. I think BetBoom learned their lesson from that fight, though. I think in the coming fight, they're going to funnel less resources into trying to kill Medusa and focus more on the outskirts of the fight. You saw how fast Pure could kill the Lion. If they can somehow get on top of the Lion in the Pugna and just use the arena to contain one of these running cores. Like, Bristle and Dusa don't have any way of escaping it. Actually, I take that back. Amar does have the 8-seconder on the BKB, but if he's going to pop that just to run out of arena, that doesn't feel great. If you're not being targeted, you ideally don't want to use this item. So I definitely think BetBoom will be trying to find that angle.
Middle tower is under attack.
Next upcoming engagement.
There's the Aghanims build. I've seen this a few times. See if he goes the Kaya Sanj as well. For now, he's going to go buy a shard.
Yeah.
What do you make a butterfly for TA?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Sounds pretty strong. I don't know if is it just flat out better than Daedalus here? The defensive aspect of having this against Dusa Bristle is obviously great. These two right-click heroes don't like Bind True Strike. So that's nice, and it's also going to maybe block a hit or two from the Storm when he's going on you. So it's definitely, EHP-wise, it's a nice purchase, but it is not as much damage as if you bought a Daedalus. So this is effectively Pure saying, I need more staying power rather than burst, is how I would interpret that. Yeah, I think it's good, though. Jump in. Only find
Rolling
Katomi.
Thunder is going to come in and try and get revenge. Katomi already dead, and Kiyotaka doesn't really seem to have too much backup here. He's just playing around.
How long was Pango irrelevant for?
2 days?
Okay, I was just checking. This hero was like meta for 2 years straight. And then
Radiant's
longer,
middle
man.
tower is under attack.
somebody at Valve loves Pango. Who's their French employee?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
He's covering for himself by not naming it En Garde, but
Radiant's
keeping it as Lucky Shot. It's all smoke and mirrors, Cab. Amar's pushing high ground, by the way. He got half a tower. BetBoom didn't really respond to it at all.
Radiant's middle tower is
Hit and run.
Yeah, nice. Okay, well, you'll take that. I mean, he has the Aegis, so he feels pretty confident going for a little bit of poke and prod here and there and trying to force BetBoom around the map to free things up for his team in return. Still, economically, a very even game, and a very explosive game, too, in terms of the fights. It's so much down to whether BetBoom can find these burst kills or if Falcons can live through them. It's like a clash of styles here. If the Falcons lineup survives and the fights go long enough, these drains into the Deuce, these drains into the Storm, they should win any extended fight. But if they're ever a little bit out of position, we've seen just how fast the heroes can get blown up by the BetBoom side.
Yeah, we do have extra initiation now with the Scythe of Ice done
Yeah,
for the
that's
Mars.
good.
I feel like the Mars initiation can do so much, right? He can catch the supports in the first place, blow them up quickly, but also with his arena, right, being able to bail out people or make it so you can't see the people inside the arena, making it harder for those saves to be used.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options for Miro in this game. And they have this butterfly timing, thought they were going to be able to use it, and maybe they will. Arena on Crit and Skeeter. BKB has to be used by Miro. They do manage to get the kill on the Crit, and now a bit of chain stun. Skeeter is going to find that he's going to be losing a lot of mana.
This is a good find on Snake.
He gets blown up so quickly off of these Aghanims shield crashes. Kiyotaka, oh, Malrine took a lot of damage from that Meld Strike. He has BKB going. At the same time, Bristleback is coming in from the side.
He
Takes
has
the
no
lot,
Aegis
throwing
now.
around a lot of quills. It's scary. Those are built up pretty damn quickly. Skeeter's running low on mana. Could not finish off Kiyotaka. In the meanwhile, Pure backing away from Amar. Amar keeps on throwing more and more quill stacks at these heroes. They're snowballing after Skeeter. Skeeter is dead. Katomi finishes them up with a punch to the face, and BetBoom. They don't lose a hero. Everybody's so damn low. Amar is going to go the right direction here, which is to the right and away from all these traps.
I hope we can get a replay on that. That spear from Mars just sent him packing. But in a good way for Amar. I think if he would have been pinned there to anything, he just dies. But instead he got pushed away. They still took a great fight out of it, make no mistake, but you wonder if that could have been even better for BetBoom with that initiation they got. They immediately killed the 2 supports like we talked about. You're going to see, okay, this is the aftermath. So before this, the Bristleback got speared across the entire river by the Mars. I think he was trying to pin him on the wall down there and just missed it narrowly. But wow, that was a really nice sequence from BetBoom. They did a lot of things very right there. Loving the balance that they strike between tanking and dealing damage. Pure played that fight on 10%. He went back in, trusting that his refraction would cover enough.
And this is really cool. They are allowing Pure to focus on damage and getting all these utility items that are a must-have, right? Nullifier on the Pangolier, right? So now we can deal with the Decrepify. And then you've got the Silver Edge on Saves Muerta.
Yep.
So this time around, the TA hasn't had to build the Silver Edge like he had to in Game 1, and has been able to go this Butterfly build, which we saw worked out in that last team fight, that's for sure.
Yeah, he might have died without Butter, actually. It was pretty close.
And now he's going to go just raw damage dataless.
Kiyotaka is going to kill Pugna every fight now. It's just so easy. If he sees snaking, he's dead. He just pops Rolling Thunder, jumps on him, and uses the Nullifier, and hero dead. And even, we saw in that fight too how Kiyotaka's BKB was extremely valuable. That was obviously the reveal of it. But he's going to have that as a backup plan when he comes out of the ulti now to make sure he can disengage from the storm. So, as far as I'm concerned, if Kiyotaka kills Pugna with an ult, that's job well done. I think that's enough to break the fight wide open for you. You don't have to get on top of the big cores. Just kill the easy squishies in the back with your Nullifier, and slowly but steadily you should be able to build up a fight off it. There's that Silver Edge now. Break against Bristle for Muerta.
BetBoom, they have to have a huge advantage for this next team fight. Or at least
you'd think so.
Decent. I mean, all of these items coming together at this moment, right for the Roshan fight.
Yeah, and this will be a guaranteed dire spawn, and both teams know this. So Falcons start moving. Let's see how fast oh, this is a long spawn. Cap, we get all the long spawns, man.
Game just wants longer games for us.
Yeah.
We can hang out more.
Oh.
Spend some quality time together.
God damn it, game.
Daedalus done too? Meanwhile, you look at Falcons, there's like 1,000 gold here, 2,000 gold here. Like, BetBoom's up by 1K, but their net worth is used very efficiently for this moment right here where all their items have come together.
Yeah, they're probably, in terms of like raw fighting strength right now, they're probably up more like 6K because they have so little dead gold compared to Falcons, who are rocking with half golds here. Up to the high ground, though. They're calling the bluff. They're like, let's hope Roche isn't up, guys. And they are right.
They are. This is something that maybe BetBoom should have done for that second Roshan. Instead, oh yeah, nice graph. 4.7K. You were very close.
5K. Middle tower is under attack.
Oh, in comes Nero.
Starts the fight. A pin on the Bristleback. His team.
He's just dead.
He's just gone. There is no saving that. And Kiyotaka has spotted the support. Exactly what you want to see. He'll keep crit stun. Now he searches for snaking and found him inside the trees. They'll get both.
Holy. It's so difficult when BetBoom get the initiation. They just jump whoever they want, they nullify them, and they just pile on them with stuns and ridiculous physical damage. And Pugna, I feel like this has been one of the most useless Pugna games we've seen. This hero has been ridiculous this tournament, but what inevitably happens over time is that teams find solutions and better understanding of how to deal with specific heroes. And you could say on paper it's a good Pugna game. All of Pango's damage is physical. All of TA's damage is physical. But I think the Mars is actually the real difference maker here by just repositioning heroes and making Pugna's life difficult. Displacement has always been one of the most key mechanics of playing against saves. And BetBoom are showcasing it here. I think this game from Miero has been outstanding.
By the way, we can't forget, BetBoom does know when Roshan spawns.
Yep.
I forget about that TA passive all the time.
Well, if they know that, why were they staying up there?
I don't know. I legitimately think maybe they forgot about it and forgot to look at it. Because, yes, they are now moving to the corner right as Roshan spawns because now they're like, yeah, we have this passive, guys. It's really good.
Wow. He lived for 5 seconds, so that's great. And that's the Axe Blessing for Tusk. Yeah.
Oh.
Another displacement. Add them up. He already has Blink Solar. So he can easily blink and kick someone and snowball after them.
They're going to have to be so quick on the side of Falcons to get off like the Lion Hex or the Storm Spirit grab or something, because if somebody gets isolated, we've already seen the single target damage is overwhelming for BetBoom, and Falcons do not have a hard save in that regard. They have these heals, but it's never enough.
Mar hexed.
Caught, nullified, got off the BKB, but it's not enough. He takes too much damage. 1,300 as his corpse is lobbed back to Pure.
This is such a difficult game to play strategically for the Dire. Because you're trying to rep your... Falcons generally are very, very good at playing this phase of the game, right? But I think they need to dig deep, and they're probably struggling to figure out what to do, actually. Because you can't really fight, it seems like. That's too difficult. Your skirmishing is not going great either. And what area of the map do you play when one half is plastered in TA traps and the other half the enemy team's playing? Well, they'll try to jump him.
Does have an Aegis,
he is completely
so they'll blow him up once, but are they going to be able to get out in time? Kiyotaka's looking for him. Caught the Dusa, didn't get the chain stun, they back away, so they just remove an Aegis, nothing lost.
They called that one. They just thought Pure was alone, and they were right. I guess they saw one hero on a deep ward top or bottom left, and then they just decided, let's just go for it. He doesn't have the full team to back him up at the very least, and as a matter of fact, he had nobody covering him. That would have been a really interesting situation to see if Tusk was there. Like, what would have transpired? There would have been a lot of different plays for Katsuomi with Blink Snowball save, or he could have Blink kicked someone behind the Dusa, or excuse me, the TA, and then Snowballed her through them. There were different options, but none of them available. So Falcons with a nice strike there. It's really important for them to get rid of the Aegis for free.
I like how Pure seems to treat Templar Assassin like Dusa. It's just at some point I'm gonna get a Divine Raper. He's dead. He's knocked up in the air. He doesn't even hit the ground alive. It is
okay. Save. Well, I guess we've just reached that point of the game where everybody just walks around and just dies.
Yeah.
So
I also thought it was interesting that Pure goes refraction instances for this game over the bash from last one.
Yeah.
Which is probably a better build-up, I would guess, against the Dusa.
This one or the bash?
This one, right? I mean, if you're going to be in a little bit more of a longer, drawn-out brawl, you're not trying to burst quite as much.
I guess you also don't need the bash as much when your teammates have nullifier, because then somebody else is going to allow you to stick on the target. Part of what makes Meld Bash so good is that if the enemy doesn't react, they can't use their utility items against your burst. But so far in this game, that hasn't really been a problem anyway.
Double damage.
We've already talked about how little we felt Pugna's influence, and if that's the read Pure has in the game as well, do you really need the bash then? Versus being tankier, having more damage. The Meld Bash, does it give bonus damage? I actually forgot, or is it literally just a stun?
No,
I think it's just a stun, right?
Stun.
Because Basher does do some damage. I don't think it does any damage. Just a guaranteed ranged bash.
Just a guaranteed range bash every 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Who wants that?
But this build with Butterfly and the refraction instances, he is going to be tough to bring down if he's not 1v5ing.
Nice read here from Falcons to not get caught by this move coming out from BetBoom. Did you mention the refresh on Mars?
No.
Yeah. He has double Hex, double Arena, double BKB now.
Wow.
So as if his catches already haven't been good enough on Miero, for me probably the MVP of this game, together with Kiyotaka, then he just needs to see something. If he sees any hero, he can just start.
He needs a bigger mana pool.
And he does.
Caught the Lion. Now, his team doesn't immediately follow up, but I'm sure they'll jump in eventually. His opportunity, side blades onto Crit. He's almost dead. Rolling Thunder after him. They throw the Nullifier. They do manage to get him, but it trades off for Kateomi, who looks like his initiation got countered. They both buy back. So we are left now in a 5v5
Mars still has a Hex and a Refresher. So he has double Hex, double Arena, and 1 BKB currently. Are Falcons really confident that they can just go down? They might not realize Mars has Refresh. If they play this aggressively, I think this could backfire really hard. They're going to start going to work here with Skitter. Watch out for the displacement abilities, both the spear and the kick. They could just send him all the way back to the tier 4s if they combine their spells.
Pure is pushing out the bottom lane.
Do they really not want to defend this?
Surely you...
All right, they're going to Glyph.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
I mean, it is a butterfly timing for the Dusa. That is rough, but if you push her into the tier 4s, double dead shots, trying to keep them away, commits, and we'll get the building.
Did you see that side blade on the bristle?
Yeah.
What the hell? Well, okay, I mean, it's not like one lane of barracks is that important right now. I'm just surprised they didn't feel like this fight was even favoring them.
Yeah, like
with the Mars Refresher available.
Kick him back to tier 4s, then spear him back even further.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just get the jump and send him back. And even if your Tusk dies, you just place the Medusa that hard. I don't think they save her in the tier 4s, but all right.
I didn't see
the first team to take barracks somehow.
Yeah.
Without fighting.
And then they're going to smoke out. So instead of smoking and getting that initiation, they really want to catch the back line. They don't really find it. They just get the Bristleback on the Deuce inside the arena, but the Bristleback is still dead. And the supports have been chased away. You could see Crit and Snaking playing there on the left-hand side, waiting for their opportunity to jump in. Maureen pops his BKB, turns and fights Kyotako's pretty damn tanky himself, popping his own BKB. Kataomi in trouble. That's going to be a dieback for him. Playing underneath the arena. Shots coming out. Big hits of damage from Amar to wipe out Miro. He does not have buyback Pure. He does manage to dice up the Pugna pretty quickly, but now he's making a run for it. He does have a blink up in 1 second. He blinks back to the base. Gets away just in time there. An even trade out mostly. Falcons did lose a little bit more.
They had to buy back their Bristle for that. But this is why it's a bit peculiar, right? You chose to take this fight next to the outpost, so Bristle actually had a connection point. Yeah. If this fight happens in your base, maybe they just feel like Dusa is not the original primary target. I mean, I understand you don't want to go on Dusa first, but if you send her far enough out of position, the team has to help. And then you can use that as your arena. Because you could have sent Dusa to the tier 4s without committing arena. You just blink kick with Tusk or blink spear with Mars BKB and then kick her back and then let the fight come to you. And you're fighting defensively on your terms. I think that would be great. But this is getting actually really exciting. Despite this disadvantage, Falcons could definitely stand their ground up there and get something done.
Pure is just really playing for that Divine Rapier, and it's spooky. Okay, he switched up to MKB. I was going to say, like, surely against a Butterfly, MKB is more damage, right? Against the Dusa.
Yeah, against that one hero. So it depends what your perspective on the game is. Is it, I have to be able to kill Dusa? Oh yeah, she even has Aviana's Feather, so that's like double evasion.
Haste!
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether he chooses to commit for that MKB or not.
Get the ward.
He switched back to Rapier again.
Okay.
Can't decide.
I mean, either way, he's probably going to want buyback on top of this item. So
whoa. He's just running it.
Okay. He's been caught. Can he get off BKB? Oh, the snowball is not in time. He dies, not picked up. They kick away the Dusa and now try and run for it. Okay, he's going to buy back. They're still going to take this one. They have the Nullifier and the Bristleback. He's dead. That's a dieback. Amar pushed too far forward. Now the BKB. Now they're going to start focusing on Skeeter. Pure, they put a Nullifier on him. He's down to half mana. Look at the back line. It's just being... Nobody is coming to be able to help out this Dusa. He's just dead. Snaking. He got knocked in a little bit. Dead shot. Oh, big crit to finish him off. A TP away from Maureen. And it looks like Crit will also be able to escape. But somehow that death on the Templar Assassin baits in Falcons.
Oh, Crit's trying to...
No way, he just blinked right to where Kiyotaka was before the swashbuckle.
Okay, I don't know if this is what actually happened. It looked like Pure was just walking over to buy his Rapier.
It did kind of look that way, right?
But they just walked into the enemy team. Has to buy back this Aeon Disc from Amar, by the way. Do you like that purchase? I feel like it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, when they already have Nullifier?
They're killing him with Nullifier when they are killing him. So Maybe he could have just bought some more tankiness to try to stay alive instead. Like, finished the armor item that he's working on with his plate mail. I think something like Shiva's plus... Yeah, I guess just Shiva and another armor item, maybe? They don't have AC, do they? They don't. He could have bought an AC as well. That's a bit peculiar. All right, commitment time. Pure. He's got no buyback, and the
he's
SDA
getting
just...
the Ags. It's parting shot time.
Wait, what? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Now I'm not going to understand the fight. That's not great. Let's see if Falcons understand what it does.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Like, do they parting shot the Dusa and ignore her and just kill everybody else? Like, what is the plan going to be with this?
Melee Rex down. Pure with the Rapier makes quick work of it. If Falcons somehow kill Pure twice without losing too many heroes, they probably just flat out win the game.
Right.
But that's a big if. Still, it's something you can plan for and try to execute.
Got AoE Earth Spike. Well,
Yeah.
it's always AoE. It's got the triple Earth Spike.
I have punching for you.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, this game feels so...
It's tense. This actually could be a game-deciding item as well. The Basher on Kiyotaka.
Yeah.
If he can just lock down a little bit extra in the fights by just hitting a random bash on the Storm, hitting a random bash on the Lion, you name it.
Heaven's Halberd for the Bristleback, so now even he has a bit of evasion, which is going to be annoying for
He
Pure.
sold his plate mail for this. So Amar's armor is terrible. 15 armament at 50 on Bristle. He's fully committed to believing that he can survive with this evasion plus Ghost Scepter BKB, but I think if they get on top of him, this is just a bit unfamiliar territory for him and Bristle to die that quickly.
Yeah.
And you're starting to understand why BetBoom are using this TA as the counterpick 2 games in a row. It's definitely worked.
It is a 5-second disarm if he gets it on the TA, right? That is like so much damage lost in a fight.
She has the BKB though.
Yeah.
So I'd be way more on board with this with old Halberd, of course.
True.
But do you think that was overpowered and would just be bad for the game if that was brought back? The version where when you Halberd someone, BKB doesn't dispel it?
I liked it.
I actually thought it was kind of interesting too, because it made that dynamic of when you commit, are you going to pop your BKB to protect yourself from Halberd, or is the enemy going to make the first move and make you weak?
Yeah.
I don't know. You could argue that it was too overpowered as well to just be able to Halberd a carry hero and then they couldn't fight back even if they BKB'd when you were the ones to get the jump. Same for both teams though.
I was going to say that, like, BetBoom are kind of, in a way, running out of time because the Templar Assassin is, I mean, you're capping out completely soon.
If you think they're running out of time, you're capping.
Well, maybe. They have a Muerta scaling up.
I think
so
every
like,
day of your life, you're capping.
Yeah,
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
stop this.
I'll stop when you change your name, okay? Until then, you're capping. Well, you old late-game Dusa on her high ground.
A classic.
What are you going to do, BetBoom?
Well, you could be looking to kick her out,
Yep.
but it almost feels like Katomi, yeah, he wants a BKB.
Yeah, that would be big.
I think you want to make sure that, because I'm pretty sure one of these fights, Katomi blinked and tried to get a kick out, and he got hexed, and then just killed. So
This is probably the most important item that's left in the game, actually, is him getting BKB. I don't think there's anything that any hero will purchase that will matter more. Because this is the type of thing that just ends games, is the Tusk kick. It's such a finisher. So... And Falcons will struggle to deal with it.
it does mean waiting for this BKB means the Aegis will expire.
Yeah.
Which is not the worst problem, because Templar Assassin is in need of slots, that's for sure.
She's also in need of time. She has 2 minutes cooldown on the buyback, which is a moment of opportunity for Falcons, and they are going to go for it immediately with this Aegis expiring. They will smoke up. If they could somehow find Pure, this 2 minutes buyback cooldown timer could actually cost them the whole game.
BetBoom is settling up, though. They do TP in Kiyotaka. They're playing on this high ground. They are playing defensively.
Yeah.
Falcons might still find the initiation anyway, but BetBoom is definitely preparing for it.
Yeah, this is really tense.
Smoked and around 1 billion TA traps.
I think Falcons might want to just force them back to base here, maybe.
Yeah, much better to get them away from wherever they're holed up, right, with all these TA traps.
Yeah.
Just the vision alone.
Oh, this is so awkward. Snake King's just going to walk into them.
That courier has revealed Snake King's positioning, but he does manage to get a blink away. Quick roll up, nullifier put onto Skeeter. Miro looking for his initiation, misses the spear, uses the arena on a bristleback. This is not good for BetBoom.
Get the fuck out, Dad. They will. Well, now they're
going back to their room.
Yeah, blood in the water here for Falcons. I mean, why not? You also got a little bit of creeps, but they're the smallest of concerns here. But Pure's just sitting in that corner of all places.
Stormfear jumping in, triple grab on 3, but crit, he gets demolished. Pure's positioning finds the opening, but they got so many initiations off this one. Mars right in the middle of it. BKB got 2 shots. Pure does 2 goddamn much damage. It's too much. Now he's focusing on the Dusa. They knocked her up in the air, speared her back into the trees. They're focusing her. He's gone. Crit's gonna die back. All of these buybacks from Falcons, one of them is already a dieback.
Dude, Pure. How much damage did he do in that fight?
1 million.
I need to see the recap. Come on, where's the recap, Valve?
It'll show. Trust. There it is. 13,000 damage.
He did the same amount of damage as the 9 other heroes combined in that team fight. Like, literally.
Okay.
Holy.
1 life left for Falcons. Is BetBoom gonna take the opportunity right now in this minute while there's no Lion?
And I do want to emphasize that was a good move from Falcons. I actually think this was the right idea, and it was what they had to do to try to win the game. BetBoom were just ready. But against other teams, and even sometimes against BetBoom, that could have won you the game, going for that play. The Storm Jump was really looking very, very promising. If they could have somehow set it up a little bit better and got up on the high ground with their Medusa faster and stood their ground, they knew that that was the one moment of opportunity. If they kill Pure without Aegis there, they win the game. But it failed. Now we're in this awkward spot again where they have to play defense. BetBoom have all the options available. They can wait for Roche.
Yep,
they can try to force something because they know there's 0 buybacks on the Falcons side.
It's on, which will put us right up against 60-minute items as well.
It would.
So if BetBoom's going to wait for that, they also are letting Falcons have an opportunity to get tier 5 items, which I am never a fan of if you're winning the game. I think you always should try and close it out before tier 5s.
Yeah, the upside to waiting here, though, is that you have the entire map and TA traps, and you know the enemy team has 6-minute buyback cooldowns.
True.
So if you do get the Aegis, you could technically set up an 11 versus 5. But, and also, if they do it cleanly and quickly, there will not be tier 5s, actually. Remember, they should know the exact Roche timer, right?
Yeah.
With the TA, so they can start planning ahead and be like, okay, we kill at 59, and then we just run down a lane. And there won't be tier 5s. And we will have all the lives, and they will have none. I think, theoretically, the best play here for BetBoom is to do nothing, actually. And just wait for that Roche. Keep map controlling, push out the waves, see if there's any key item you still want to get, farm it up. I think Pure is completely maxed out now, by the way. Yeah, actually, no, you can still get an Axe.
Yeah.
But I don't think we would really use it.
I mean, you could use it through buyback, right? If you have enough gold to get the Ags and then buyback and jump to your traps in one of the fights.
He's going to need, like, how much is that? Like 12,000 gold for that?
Well, he might get it off of Roshan.
How much? That's true.
He could just plan, hey, I'm taking the next Ags, guys. I mean, who else is going to take? You want the Bulwark?
Yeah, that's the only other one. Yeah, you're right. He will get it for free. How much does Pure's buyback cost right now? 3.4k. I remember when I could go a full game and get 3.4k. good old position 5 without anything. Those were the days, man. That's when you cherished what you had. It's like, I have an item. This is my item, and it's mine only.
Now I understand why you read so much Calvin and Hobbes. You resonate with the dad, don't you? You know? A simpler life. Appreciate what you have. Biking in the snow.
He likes to go out into bad weather and biking, and he wants to go on boring family holidays out in the pouring rain. I don't know how much we have in common, to be honest.
Fair enough.
You think you should go out in the cold snow to build character. When I build characters,
I mean,
World of Warcraft.
That's what it sounds like to me. You're back in my day, you know, we just had wards and brown boots, and that made us better gamers. That made us better Dota players.
It made us different gamers. It made us appreciate the little things, Cap. Nowadays, these pros, they just appreciate the big items. I appreciate the small items. Oh, there was a Roche, by the way. Oh, they did not plan for the Axe at all. They had plenty of time to think about it, but now it's on Pango in his backpack, I think. Oh, Pure! Straight back into position. Just TP'd right over there. Could have used an Axe trap, but we'll see.
Back in my day when you needed mana, you couldn't just gobble down 6 mangoes like Pure's about to do.
That's true. We did have infinite clarities, though.
He's out here like he's in Skyrim. Hold on a second.
Yeah, the mechanic of pausing a game to eat to heal has always felt so... It really breaks the immersion. I've never been a fan of that.
Shove 3 mangoes down his gullet in half a second.
All right, it's time. Tier 5s for both teams are available, but Falcons... They're just so constricted in their base. And you would think that BetBoom can get more than them. Now, Reen will, if nothing else, get access to a camp, but RNG's is not with him today.
Time to head to those Ancients. Where's our Midas?
Yeah? Where is it?
Skeeter has it.
Got it.
Skeeter does indeed actually have a Midas in his backpack.
We have not talked about this, but Amar is 10,000 gold behind the enemy 4.
Oh.
This Bristle has had... This has been his worst Bristle game this tournament. And I don't mean that in terms of individual performance necessarily. It's just really been hard to play, it seems.
Yeah.
That is a problem for Falcons, because this is a hero that has carried them to many a win in recent weeks. If that is starting to get figured out, you gotta start picking Razor again.
All right. Pirate hats for Miro. Miro took it. That's interesting.
Same took it as well.
And then we have the Uber Deso, Stygian Desolator on Pure.
Dire's bottom tower.
It's so hard. Okay. Let's see him range tracks here. 1, 2. Okay, Hex.
Get 3-shot the barracks. Okay, they have to arena to try and bail him out a little bit here because he is in a tad bit of trouble. Maybe he's just
kick
gonna
out
die.
Amar.
They kick out Amar, and now he gets off his BKB contest, and they do manage to take away the Aegis.
That did not go particularly well for the BetBoom side.
No, they didn't get much out of the initiation on Arena. Catching the Bristle back. Do you want to focus on him? He got Decrepified. They don't have a Nullifier anymore. With Kiyotaka dead, they don't have counter to Decrepify.
Okay. Well, you know what they used to say, Cap. 60k just isn't enough. You need more gold.
He's always ready for a fight.
And more tier 5 items.
Back in my day, our entire team didn't have 60k when the games ended.
Did you see anything get reflected important off of the mirror shield from
No.
Skeeter? Okay.
I didn't.
That is something.
But that might have happened. I mean, honestly, truly late game Dota past 60 minutes, nobody in the world has overview of everything that's happening. Not even the absolute best and most attentive pros can keep track of team fights. It becomes a game of total chaos, and there are certain things that you can try to pay attention to, but you cannot keep track of everything.
And if there's a Starfshire in the game, a bunch of bright flashing lights.
I mean, that whole fight was literally just a show, it was a disco.
Yeah.
I will say, though, what you can keep track of with the Mirror Shield is if you have a very clear purpose in the game, if you know this is what I absolutely need to do, you will pay extra attention to that one individual thing in the fight. But you're probably not going to account for the 3 Books of Shadows and the Arcanist armor, right?
Yeah.
So you need to hone in on what's the most important thing. I'm saying that as a hypothetical, guys. I know these items are not in this individual game. Okay?
Yeah.
There's none of them. But it's more about the concept of a lot of the time in ultra late game Dota, the best thing you could possibly do is to simplify things. Because it's so overwhelming that you need to be like, okay, what is the easiest way that we do something good? And
So, would you say for BetBoom that's a kickback?
I think so. I genuinely
What is
think
it
that's
for
what
Falcons?
Standing far back and trying to only offer up the Medusa and maybe the Bristle, and then having really good formation. Like the Lion and the Pugna need to stand far behind and just be very patient. And then you wait for any sort of Storm Spirit moment where he can get a good Vortex, or if the enemy team kicks out the Dusa, you can counterplay. If anyone else gets offered up for a kickback, I think it will be bad. But even the Dusa, I'm not convinced that that's not good. Just moving the fight outside of the enemy base and compromising their position on the supports by kicking Dusa out, I think should in theory be a quite good way to start the fight.
So, some interesting things. We have the Arcanist armor for snaking, so we're getting a little bit more armor for everybody. But I think the Magic Lamp, I don't know if it came into play that last team fight. I'm sure it did. But the hard Dispel that he gets may counter the Nullifier that's, you know, trumping his Ghost Scepter and Aeon Disc. So they go on him. If they use a Nullifier on him, he gets the hard Dispel. Then he'll be able to have his Ghost Scepter, and he will live a lot longer than he has been.
But the order of operations here is that your Aeon Disc procs first, because that one procs on 70%.
Which means they're going to Nullifier to get rid of it, most likely.
Yeah, and then your Lamp will remove that, and then you can Ghost. It's a lot of conditionals, though, because TA can one-shot you from half health. Oh, Snake's trying to get a neutral item. That's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Wait, do they even have any more neutral items to get? No. He was just out there. Why?
Not sure, but Kiyotaka is in the middle of everything with his ult, and he's doing a good amount of damage. That swashbuckle
nice
hurts,
lamp,
man.
bro.
Yeah, that lamp didn't do shit. Grab on two. Media buybacks. Crit is going to be able to follow that up with a beautiful stun. A snowball pick up on all of them. They're going to come out low. A BKB back. A kick away. Malrine, he spots Pure, but he actually zips away out of fear and TP's back. BetBoom, save is in deep right now, trying to gun down Snaking. Snaking will win that drain battle. Kataomi's going to be caught in the midst of it too. 3 dead on the side of BetBoom. 2 buybacks used by Falcons.
Now you know who your targets are for the next fight for BetBoom. The question is, can Falcons get anything out of this? Can they push out the lanes? Can they find a pick? And Pure is seemingly eager to kill. This might catch Snaking completely off guard if he just gets burst here. He is, as a matter of fact, alone here on the Pugna.
Oh, he goes up onto the trap area, but...
All right. Still good defensive plays from Falcons. They keep the game alive, and yeah, they expend these 2 buybacks, but now they cut a little bit further into that lead. Unfortunately, Amar is making 0 item progression on the Bristle. I mean, you just saw in that previous fight just how useless that hero is at this point.
Yeah.
Kind of just runs in and dies. And now he's buying a Force Staff. It's a pretty rare item for Amar to buy in any game ever. But on Bristle, it might be a first.
Falcons, they're going to have a little window here where they might be able to get buybacks out, but I don't think BetBoom is going to bite on this. I think they have a tier 2 up bottom lane, and they're saying, what's another lane of barracks?
Yeah, I agree 100%. The buybacks are more valuable than a lane now.
So if you really want the buybacks out of them, you have to threaten the throne, and that's just...
Yeah, that's hard when Mars is alive.
Yeah, when you have a Searstone Tusk who could kick you into the fountain, I don't want anywhere near those tier 4s.
They still progress. Okay. This graph is insane. They were up like 60k, and now they're up 40, and it's a 50-50 game according to the expectation, despite being 40k down.
Bottom barracks are under attack.
Even
Gabe likes late game Medusa, late game Storm. You can never count it out.
Oh yeah.
These are 2 of the most ridiculous ultra carries of the game, and there's still room to grow for Malrine. He could finish his Parasma now.
They have some crazy AoE combo, right? The Storm Shear grabs everybody. They've got Snake Bounce. They've got the AoE stuns of the Lion, who... Is he closing? Yeah, he's closing at level 25. You could have AoE Earth Spike, but also the AoE Hex as well.
I think in this game the Earth Spike range is better because it just gives you more flexibility with your positioning of your hero.
Sure.
And it's hard to find an AoE Hex, but maybe off the Storm it could be good. because he will pull them together naturally.
Yeah.
To line up your Hex. And you mentioned that 25 talent. We have level 30 talents on the way. It's only Pure that's been level 30 so far in the game. There's multiple heroes on 29 and 28. So definitely within reach. Roche gonna go for a little walk with the dog. That was a very short walk. He has a tiny dog. Doesn't need to go outside very long. Falcons are in position. Gonna offer up Skitter.
Everybody's smoked up around him.
Crit's gonna break it.
Oh.
Instant out.
Instant Ghost Scepter and Blink.
Keep in mind he does have a buyback, which is why they're sending him in here.
Sure.
You could buy back TP to the outpost if things go wrong. They cannot do that with Bristle or Pugna, so they have to be very careful. Mid lane, though.
Yeah, they have to come back at some point in time. And this Roshan, I feel like it doesn't matter that much for BetBoom, but it would mean a lot for Falcons.
Why is Pure not defending? He has eggs.
Yeah, he does have the eggs, but...
Just defend. Does he think they're in the base? He has plenty of traps around his team right now. What's the cooldown on projection? 10 seconds.
Yeah, maybe that... I mean, he shows for 10 seconds. Maybe Falcons zip in with Malray and immediately take a fight.
I guess so. Maybe it's just too long to risk it.
Okay. TP back from Kiyotaka. Mass TP's coming through.
Yeah, they have to.
They're all
They
out.
need to take care of their waves.
They are going to find an amp damage on Falcons.
Oh, look, it's an Axe for Mars. Because he's
Hooray!
literally the last one left.
Bulwark time.
This is so useless with this build.
Maybe it's time to change the build.
Yeah, well, he's planning on a Wind Waker.
Come and double damage.
What do you even do as Pure with all this gold? He's got 15.
Oh, you get jumped, apparently.
Jump in!
Oh,
the
the save
perfect timing on the Earth Spike! Now he does have the Aegis. He's going to be back soon and a buyback from Kataomi, but Pure, he's taking a lot of damage from Skeeter right now. He's going to go and jump to his trap.
Oh, he
gets
reflected
away.
the Hex
Pure tries to go
shield.
jump in, immediately got hexed up. Nobody gets an arena. On to staking, they found the supports that they wanted. Buyback on the Lion, on the Storm Spirit. They're going to be coming back to try and help out Skeeter here. Save is taking that fight
doing
with
serious
his
damage
ultimate,
on
with the
Huerta.
Rolling Thunder chain. He's stunning up Skeeter. He's just not being able to do much at all. Big zip in from Malrina, refresh and grab, but the BKBs are out. Save is doing so much damage. Can he get through all of this? What a triple kill for him so far, but now Amar brings him down with the Quills. But Pure, he can finish him up and nullify. BKB's gonna wear out soon and kick back to the other side of the river. Trying to TP on him with bots too. It's two-man against all. Can they do it? Skater, he's doing so much damage. Managed to finish up one. The Templar Assassin is down, but a buyback and a TA trap projection back on in. It's 1 versus 5, and there's just no way Skater can do this, right? Right? He can't possibly do this against 3 heroes. He's gone. That is it. It is game over, and BetBoom will take it 2-0.
Wow. What a sick late game. That must have been hype to play that situation and save. Look at that damage. Position from Huerta. 10k damage in that last fight. We were talking a lot about the core's item progression and kind of forgot to